Yo, what is going on, guys? So today we're going to be repairing my carbon fiber trunk. As mentioned in the last video, we actually got rear-ended not too long ago, and so here's the damage. It has a hairline crack and it goes all the way up until the inside right there. So we're going to be using some fiberglass Bondo to repair this right here. And then we're going to be using, we're going to sand this down and clear coat it again. So our first step, we're going to need to mask this area off to protect all the other area that we're not going to touch. I left some space right here because we're going to be sanding down this whole area, and I masked this off as to not damage the carbon right here. So our next step is going to be removing the trunk. Alright guys, so we got the trunk off. I didn't record taking it off because I needed more than one person to take it off, but here it is. Alright guys, now we're going to start wet sanding with some 220 grit sandpaper, and we're going to go 220, 400, 800. We're on 400 grit sandpaper right now, and it's honestly looking a lot better. Let me just spray some water on it with my water gun. The crack is honestly looking a lot better. Still got some work to do with 1000 grit, but it's looking a lot better. Grit, I think a few more runs should be good. It's looking pretty nice. Wipe off this wet sand. Let me hit it with the water. It is smooth and the crack is barely visible, so I think we're making great progress here. Finished the wet sanding and it's looking hazy, but that's alright because we're about to clear coat it right now. Here it feels pretty smooth. Again, it's not going to be perfect. I just wanted to get rid of the major crack visibility. Right here I have a light, so that's why it might look a bit worse than it is, but in normal daylight it should look just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down the surface with some lacquer thinner. Just helps to clean the surface before we clear coat it. So I've covered up the whole trunk in some sort of painter's masking material, and then we covered up the top so we would not get any overspray onto the trunk that does not need the clear coat. So we're just going to be clear coating this area right here. So guys, it is actually the next day, and we're going to start repairing the fiberglass portion of my carbon fiber trunk because it actually got cracked on the inside, as you guys saw in the previous video, and I want to fix that up because I don't want to risk any cracks spreading. We finished the clear coat last night, so all that's left to do is pretty much just use the fiberglass repair kit I got and fix this up. Got the trunk flipped over, and now we're going to be removing all of this stuff right here, just to get a better look at the cracks that are right here. So I'm just going to be removing this tape right here and here. So we will be repairing the crack right here, all along right there, probably up until here. And I do believe there was another crack on the edge of where the trunk opens. Let me try and find it. I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera, guys, but right here it is the smallest hairline crack, about right there. So I don't know if that's worth repairing, so we might end up just repairing the crack that is right here. Probably gonna wipe it down with some lacquer thinner just to clean up any of the debris or chips that are in there. We are going to be repairing it with Bondo fiberglass resin, just fill in the cracks in the chip right here. And we should be good after that, and after that is done, we can put on the trunk later today. So first, before I apply the lacquer thinner, I'm just gonna use a duster and blow out any loose particles that might be in there. Now we're going to move on to sanding the area to get rid of just any contaminants and non-smooth areas. We sanded it down pretty lightly. I also am going to remove the loose pieces with a blade. That way, if they can be removed, that way it'll just be easier to work with. I think we got not even any of it off with this, which is good because that means no pieces are loosely hanging. So I'm just going to continue sanding this. Alright guys, I think I got that pretty smooth. Yeah, it's a lot smoother. Going to clean this up and then move on to the next step. So right now we're gonna hit it with some compressed air and probably a rag. So now we're gonna be mixing our fiberglass resin. It's gonna be 1 ounce of resin and about 10 drops of hardener. I have 1 ounce of resin. I went a bit over, it's 1.1. And now we're going to mix in the hardener. Be mixing the resin and hardener. I just have some chopsticks right here. Resin has dried. I ended up putting about 2 coats. And you can see it right here, how it's all dripped, but it's covering the crack now. Can't feel it anymore. And the next step is going to be sanding it out smooth, and then we're going to paint it black. Here's an update after sanding with 220 grit for about 5 minutes. We got, this part is still kind of has high spots, but overall right here where the crack in the hole was, it's basically getting a lot smoother, completely covered. And we're gonna cover this with black paint. Completely smooth, every crack is filled in, this hole is covered, and they're smoothing down the rest of the resin. It is now ready to paint. I'm gonna be using just some leftover gloss black wheel paint I have. That's looking pretty nice for a first coat. I'm gonna let that dry a bit. Finished the trunk repairs and this is how it came out. I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera, but it is hazy right here since I ended up clear coating all this area, just a light clear coat, because when I removed the masking tape you could see the line right here. You can still kind of see it right there. So I'm going to get this polished on Saturday, so that it'll look a lot better, not hazy. I'm gonna get this cleared up and shiny like the rest of it, and probably just gonna re-ceramic coat everything, and it's gonna look a lot better this weekend. But the crack is faded mostly, patched it up. It's not really as visible as before, and we fixed the cracks right here, filled them in with the resin and sanded it down, painted it black. So everything is looking much better now. That's it for today's video, guys. In the next video, probably gonna install some carbon fiber parts this weekend and go get my trunk polished, and I'll take you guys along for that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed my content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.